Alright, it's time to start knocking out another recipe here in the Poor Man's Gourmet Kitchen. We're going to do some fried raviolis today. I'm going to make these from scratch, and the first thing we need to really get rolling here is the filler. I've got some hamburger here I need to start browning, and I'm going to just throw in some olive oil and start the hamburger. I'll probably got maybe a half pound here. And I'm just going to get this going, cook it on a higher temperature here, as you can see, just to get it cooked real fast. Then we've got the garlic, we've got some mushrooms over here, got some scallions I'm going to throw in there with it, just to give it a little bit of flavor. And over here, I've got some Velveeta queso cheese. I know it's going Mexican on you, but trust me, you're going to want that in these raviolis. It's delish. Okay, halfway cooked through the process. As you can see, it's already browned. What I did here between vids is I already strained it, got out all the extra fat and whatnot, so it won't contaminate the rest of everything else. And I mean just pollute it with all that fat. I'm going to go ahead and add some garlic. It's about a teaspoon. You don't add it at the beginning of this because of how long it takes to brown your meat. You don't want to burn that garlic. I'm going to get that in there. And then over here, I've got about another half cup and one entire scallion stalk, green onion. And start getting that mixed in there now. I chopped up the mushroom real nice and fine because I want it to be in small chunks here when it's all mixed together here in the ravioli. I'm going to cook this for about another 5 minutes. Now in the meantime, while I'm waiting for that to cook, I'm going to go ahead and start the ravioli dough. Now what I've got is 1 cup of all-purpose flour. I got the 1 cup of bread flour, and I'm going to crack an egg in here, and I'm going to add 1 cup of water, or I'm sorry, make that a half cup of water, and I've already got a pinch of salt in there. And this is just my basic pasta recipe, and I've already got a video on this, so I'm not going to go through the details on really how to smash this out. But I'm going to roll up this dough, and we're going to get it all spread out so I can make some ravioli. And there's the dough. You got to make it really dense so it can withstand rolling it really thin and stuffing it so they don't burst open when you work with it here in just a minute. Now back to the stove. It's been about 5 minutes here. You can see everything's brown, everything's got its color. I'm going to go ahead at this point, salt and pepper, just a few good shakes over the top of it. And over here, I've got some Italian seasoning, which consists of thyme, marjoram, sage, rosemary. There's oregano, there's basil, there's savory, and that about covers what's in that. But that'll give it a little more of an Italian flavor, especially since I'm putting in Mexican cheese. And it's about a half cup of cheese over here. And it's just that Velveeta, like I told you, so it's real simple. And I'm going to melt that down in here and get it nice and gooey. And then we'll get back over here to the ravioli. I'll start rolling that out, the dough itself. Okay, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to cut that sucker in half because I just don't have the counter space to work with it. Poor Man's Gourmet Kitchen just doesn't have the space. And I'm going to roll this all out to about 1/8 of an inch. Okay, and there she is all rolled out. She's not as thin as I want it yet, though. It's just like my pasta video. I'm going to peel this up, and I'm going to stretch it with my hand, just like I want to do with the pasta, to make it thin like a canvas. That'll be the next step, and I'll roll it out one more time. And then I'll do the same thing with that other section I cut in half. So now it's workable. And all you got to do is just fold it in half a couple times. Set it over here aside. Start doing the other one for the top layer. See that there? Now that's a workable canvas. All you do is you lay your fillers out here, and we'll take this sucker and we'll spread it out over the top of it. And you'll see that come together here in a minute. Now's a good time to check the stove. As you can see, that cheese is melted down in there all good. And nice and gooey. It's got some flavor in there. What I like about it is that jalapeno. It gives a little bit of a kick. Okay. Now also, in the meantime, you want to get that oil going. Now, you want it on a high heat, not high, and you don't want a medium, but you want a good medium high to high. But be careful, don't turn it up that high if you're not ready for it, you're going to start a fire, okay? But that's how high you're going to want it when you start throwing these in, because you want the outside to get real crispy and you want the inside all nice and succulent and moist. You don't want to dry these things out with frying. Don't want them in there too long, okay? Now, I'm going to put this in a bowl and we'll start stuffing them raviolis. Now that I'm here, I'm ready to stuff, but I need to put down a little bit of water all over this thing because that's going to help the top layer of dough stick when I mash them together, okay? Just a real thin layer, I just rub it out, and then we're just going to go ahead and, you decide what size of ravioli pocket you want. That's just about a good heaping tablespoon's worth. And make sure you space them enough to be able to put pressure down in between them and cut them up. See there? Easy enough. Got them all evenly distributed all over that sucker. And all you got to do is take this other piece and just lay it out over the top of it. Oh, looks like I'm going to need 2 hands to do it. There we go. Now all you got to do is just press down in between. Little judo chops. Yeah. Okay. And I'm going to press them a lot more than that, but we'll get them to where they're stuck together, and then I'm just going to use my pizza cutter to slice them all up. You can get one of those ravioli cutters, that puts a nice little pattern. I was looking for one at the store today, actually, so I'm sure they're only just a couple dollars, but I couldn't find one. So a pizza cutter is going to work. It doesn't matter. We'll get her done either way. Okay. Now press them down just a little bit more. And all I'm going to do is take this roller, and I'm going to just go right down the center here. Just separating that. Not a big deal. Cut off this excess right here. Just like that. Go on the in-between. Just like that. And I'll do that to the rest of them, separate them out and get ready for the egg wash, the breadcrumbs, and to fry it. Now the breadcrumbs, just so you know, I just use a Japanese style breadcrumbs because they're nice when they're real fluffy on shrimp and whatnot, real airy. That way you're already dense enough as it is with the pasta. So you might as well just add a light crust on there so you really enjoy it. There we go. We got them all separated here. Now if you're having a hard time with the top layer and the bottom layer sticking together, all you have to do is take a fork like you do the pastry, and you can just give it a good stint here all the way around. Plus it gives it a cool little look. And then you can put it in your egg wash and throw it in the crumbs and the fryer and all that good stuff. See how easy that is? It's not a big deal. Now, I made them large like this because there's only going to be a couple served, 2, maybe 3 per person as a meal. But to tell you the truth, today I'm making pizza too, but that's not going to be on the video. Anyway, I'm going to do this to all of them, then we'll throw them in the egg wash. Simple enough. Now look, this is how easy this is. I'll just take a ravioli, let's egg wash it, put breadcrumbs, and watch this. Right in the frying oil. I've only got about a ½ inch in there, and we'll just flip it here in just a few minutes. Not a big deal. As you can see, the color's coming along quite nicely. I'm going to flip them. Use that one. That was the last one I put in there, so that's why it's not ready yet. And that one could use a little more time too. Frying's easy. All you got to do is get it to the color you want. Sometimes it's good to pull it a little bit before the color you want because it continues to keep cooking because that oil is so hot. But in the meantime, the sauce is real simple. I wasn't going to include this, but might as well because I got to make it for the pizza anyway. Got the olive oil there. I'm going to throw in garlic. As you can see, that's pretty hot. And before it burns, I'm going to add tomato sauce. And I'm just going to go ahead and about fill her up. There we go. Now, killed the heat. It's like it's way too hot. All I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and I'm going to add that Italian seasoning that we talked about, because it's already got all the goods in it that you want. And we'll just give that a good stir. Okay, I don't know, you tell me. How does that look to you? Look done? Go ahead and cut through that bad boy. You can see what she looks like on the inside. Get you some better lighting. That ain't bad, huh? Maybe get a little sauce on her. And there you have it. Get your homemade fried ravioli. Serve up as many as you like.